and the #1 in America Georgetown Hoyas. Nobody has played better in the country this past week, led by Ewing at both ends of the floor. Georgetown has avenged its only 2 losses to St. John's and Syracuse. So it's Connecticut and it's Georgetown coming up this afternoon. Quarterfinal action in the Big East Championships from Madison Square Garden. TCS Metro Sports presents the Big East Conference Tournament Championship. Today's quarterfinal action features the Connecticut Huskies taking on the #1 ranked Georgetown Hoyas. Welcome to Madison Square Garden in New York for the opening of the Big East Tournament. This afternoon, it's Georgetown and Connecticut. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Madison Square Garden. Len Berman along with Bill Raftery. Mike Gorman and Ron Perry will join our broadcast team a bit later on this afternoon. First of 4 games all coming up this afternoon. This is great, Bill.
We're back again. I'm looking forward to it. A lot of big names, a lot of fun this week.
So how about Georgetown? What an oddity. They come in this afternoon #1 in America, but #2 in the Big East Conference.
It can only happen in this league, Len. And, of course, a lot of people think they're on the top of their game. They're playing great basketball. They may not be #1 in the Big East, but they may be #1 in the country.
They certainly come in the tournament favorite, particularly the way they dismantled St. John's on this floor last week and then took apart Syracuse last weekend at home. Now for Connecticut. Obviously, they're the underdogs, the under-Huskies, if you will. Timmy Coles, normally their starting center, tough matchup with Patrick Ewing, and he's going to get some help today, Bill.
Well, you have to be on top of your game, and of course Timmy's an emotional player, the tendency to get in foul trouble because of the lack of size, but he's an exuberant type of player, enjoyable to watch.
So today, Jerry Besselink may get the starting nod and help out Coles with Ewing.
Well, I believe they're going to sub Coffey and put Besselink in there. That you may see a box and one. Don Perno likes to mix or the junk defenses, and I think you have to throw a few sliders and change-ups against Georgetown if you're to win.
So if they use the box and one, the one is on Reggie Williams. We saw him with a career-high 25 against St. John's, Bill.
Well, every time we have a Georgetown game, we say this could be the sleeper tonight. Reggie's had a quiet year, is finding his game right now, outstanding deep shooter, and has the ability to put it on the floor as well.
So it's Georgetown and Connecticut, our first game this afternoon. Coming up later, the game that Mike Gorman and Ron Perry will broadcast for you will be Syracuse and Boston College. So Syracuse and BC, Connecticut and Georgetown, those 2 winners play tomorrow night at 7. Now, Bill and I will be back for Providence and St. John's. Then Mike and Ronnie will bring you Pittsburgh and Villanova. The winner of those 2 games tonight play in the second game tomorrow night. So got it all figured out. 8 teams. 4 games this afternoon, the winners in tomorrow night's semifinals. Glad to have you with us for the Big East Championships from Madison Square Garden. We'll be back with the starting lineups for both teams when we continue from New York in just a minute. TCS Metro Sports exclusive coverage of the Big East Tournament from Madison Square Garden in New York City is brought to you by Piedmont. Call your travel agent or Piedmont and find out why in over 100 cities they call us the up-and-coming airline. By Light Beer for Miller, everything you always wanted in a beer and less. By Good News, from Good News Pivot Razors from Gillette, the essence of shaving. By Daly's Juice Products, who remind you there's a Daly's treat for everyone. And by National Car Rental. You deserve national attention. We are live at Madison Square Garden for Connecticut and Georgetown. Georgetown won the previous 2 meetings this season. Now for the starting lineups, let's go to the legendary voice of basketball at Madison Square Garden, John Condon.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena. And welcome to the 1985 Big East Basketball Championship. Here are the starting lineups for the first game. For the Huskies of the University of Connecticut, at the guards, tri-captain number 10, Earl Kelly. Number 21, Alvin Frederick. At center, number 33, Jerry Besselink. And at the forwards, number 4, Ray Broxton. And number 34, tri-captain Tim Coles. And the coach of the Huskies, Dom Perno.
Dom Perno in his 8th year, coaching the Connecticut Huskies, and of course a tough matchup this afternoon against the Hoyas of Georgetown. And here they are.
Of course, the gamble with the bigger lineup, the pressing of Georgetown could be a problem for Connecticut.
Number 40, David Wingate. At center, the captain of the Hoyas, number 33, Patrick Ewing.
Has anybody played better in America, college or pro, in the past 10 days?
Well, they say Walter Berry is the truth. I think Patrick Ewing is the light.
And number 34, Reggie Williams. Coach of the Hoyas.
And of course, the last time we saw John Thompson, he had the Lou Carnesecca sweater on. Now he's back to the normal towel. So it's Connecticut, Georgetown, Thompson and Perno, Ewing against Besselink and Coles. We'll be right back with the opening tip-off right after this. Welcome back to Madison Square Garden, getting ready for the first of 4 quarterfinals today and tonight. Connecticut, Georgetown in game number 1. And our officials for tonight's game, 3 in the Big East Conference for every conference game. Pete Pavia fell on the left. Mickey Crowley of legendary fame in the middle. Dick Slimkowski on the right. Remember, Crowley last year used a television replay to determine what player should go to the line during an NCAA tournament game, and they instituted the Crowley rule, saying, no, you can't use television. I thought he did a pretty good thing.
Mickey wanted to get on the board. He's now in the rule book. As you look at the matchups.
Tough one at center. Of course, we'll have our eye on it and our isolated cameras.
I look for a little boxing one, maybe by UConn and Georgetown the press.
The Big East Tournament, 6th season, 3rd year at the Garden, is officially underway. Connecticut ball, and here goes Earl Kelly.
1-3-1 out of the gate by Georgetown.
Look at those. Look at that wingspan. Ewing patrolling the middle. Tough to work against, as St. John's and Syracuse found out last week. This is Besselink getting the start instead of Coffey this afternoon. Broxton. Offensive rebound by Coles. Try to go up over Ewing. Ewing deflected, blocked it. Connecticut people wanted a foul call. He didn't get it. Here come the running Hoyas. Wingate. 2-0 Georgetown as Ewing falls down, and he asks for a foul call.
Well, Besselink putting some strength on Patrick Ewing. You better not do too much of it. It won't work.
Here's the foul on Michael Jackson in the backcourt.
The nickel dime. Patrick Ewing going out to the official to explain Jerry Besselink put a football block on Patrick Ewing. Trying to let him know he's in the ball game.
Ewing is used to contact. That's the end of the floor where he and Chris Mullen matched up last week in a real shot.
Now in this 1-3-1 line, Patrick can go where he wants. He almost becomes the front of the zone. They slide the point man Michael Jackson to the side. Good recovery by Wingate.
Coles got Ewing to commit, hits it over him, and Connecticut ties it at 2 with a minute gone. So Connecticut certainly has not come out shyly. Cross court to Michael Jackson's had an off-year shooting, but starts with a swish. 4-2 Georgetown.
He normally shoots well when we're involved in a ball game. The press right now and a hold in the far corner by Reggie Williams. But right away, I'm sure John Thompson looks at this big lineup. Get Kelly to give the ball up and pressure everybody else.
If you're just joining us around the country, we are not on tape. We are live. As we said last year, if you wanted a soap opera, you can call this a soap. It's called One Game to Live. And Connecticut and Georgetown, a single elimination tournament. And a kick, and they give them a fresh 45 seconds on the clock. And Connecticut, with a minute 20 gone, will inbound it, trailing 4-2.
John Thompson has hyped up the offense, and I believe it's hyped up the defense. They're more aggressive, they're trapping better, they're reacting better.
They certainly deserve the #1 ranking right now, no question about it. And another Georgetown foul, another one against Reggie Williams, 2 on Reggie, and 3 quick ones against Georgetown.
And if he had only shot that basketball on the whistle, he could have had a 2-shot foul.
Personal foul, and the Hoyas have 3 team fouls. 3.
Connecticut yet to commit a foul. Looking to tie it at 4. Frederick misses it. What a game he had a week ago Monday at Boston College. The game of his career, said Connecticut radio broadcaster Marty Glickman. Here's Wingate again. Now the first Connecticut foul. It goes against Bessemer.
And that's that. Patrick Ewing shaking his head. You almost get the feeling that Bessemer is in an overcharged situation. He's so excited. He feels the way to win this ball game is to maybe put some muscle on Patrick Ewing.
Westlink is a 6'9" sophomore from Kingston, Ontario. Now another foul, this one against Alvin Frederick. So 2 quick ones against the Huskies here in the first half now.
Fouled by Alvin Fredericks. His first personal foul.
It was a funny atmosphere, Bill, coming into a Thursday afternoon. I remember the ACC had it in their tournament for years. You pick up the newspaper, listen on the radio, you hear a Thursday afternoon game, and well, it's tournament time. That's what it's all about. Patrick Ewing hits it inside.
And that's something I don't think he could have done as a freshman, using the correct English on the spin. Once more to Georgetown press.
Look at these 3 guys chasing Kelly all over the floor. Kelly, you have to take a shot. Broxton from outside. They're going to have to get Kelly involved in the offense. Here come the Hoyas. It's 6-2 Georgetown, looking for 8. Jackson short. Patrick went flying. Reggie Williams loses it on a block. Kelly fights on the far side, goes to the 3rd row and takes the seat. Earl Kelly's got an open seat on the 3rd row.
It's the only way you get a seat in the tournament, that is.
Good hustle, Earl.
Everything's sold out. John Thompson upset, but the little things, running down rebounds, passes, Georgia has to come up with.
It is.
Earl in an expensive seat, not a cheap one.
All right, Connecticut ball. They're trailing at 6-2. And we've played 2 minutes and 40 seconds of quarterfinal #1. The steal, Martin off the press. Martin doesn't go. Look at Wingate come flying with a foul call.
Now to go the other way, and I think Wingate timed that properly. Just got caught up with somebody's head, but extraordinary leaping ability.
So the first substitution as freshman Terrence Warren from Irvington, New Jersey comes on. Called on Reggie Williams. I thought it was going to be on Bill Martin. Well, it's on Reggie Williams. That's his 3rd. So their hot scorer is out. In comes Perry McDonald to replace him.
They wished it were on Wingate. Say, that puts them at a disadvantage. Great open shooter.
Fouls, telling a short story. Kelly's first shot. Ewing rebound, knocked away. Good hustle by Broxton. And Broxton hits it. Nice move by Rain at 6-4.
Connecticut normally under more control, letting it fly early.
Well, you have nothing to lose, Bill, right? Go for broke.
They come in as a decided underdog. More of that Georgetown. Back to the big man.
Patrick, did he score from every angle against St. John's last week or what? Jump shots, hook shots, dunks. There he is from the baseline. 8-4 Georgetown.
Oh, they're having problems with this press.
And the steal. There's Wingate for an easy 2. It's 10-4 Hoyas. And Connecticut will not wait for the television timeout. They'll take one with 40 seconds to go till that marker. So there's a timeout in the action. 16:40 remaining first half. Georgetown 10, Connecticut 4. We'll be right back to the Garden after this. Press of Georgetown telling a story, Bill.
Tenacious, and of course, you don't have much choice if you're John Thompson. You see that big lineup, pressure them, trap them, and of course some panic ensues. You see it on all levels of basketball.
Don't forget, at the end of the game, we'll select the player of the game. This award sponsored by our good friends at Gillette. Thank you, Gillette, for your support of Big East basketball. Now, as we went to commercial, John Thompson was hit with a technical foul for moving out of the coaching box. Remember the 5-point play against St. John's when a technical was called and Mullen hit his foul shot. So now, Earl Kelly will have 2 foul shots. A bench team is 2, and then Connecticut will inbound it.
Of course, this is one of the few clubs in the country that can overcome these types of adversity. 7-point plays. They don't get down or fault anybody. They just go play.
Well, someone pointed out to me we were calling it a potential 7-point play. It was really a potential 8-point play. What if they're fouled? Yeah. Is that something? That would have really been a moment in the Georgetown St. John's dramatic ball game. But here we have 16:40 remaining first half. Connecticut ball. They trail Georgetown 10-6.
1-3-1. Patrick can go where he would like. Now he's in the back. Started out high.
It's like a 300-pound bear, huh? And another turnover. Here comes McDonald. And an attempted steal. And Broxton says, who, me? But he's called for the personal. That's the third against Connecticut in the first half. Georgetown has committed 4.
Now John got away with just 2 there.
Right. Instead of a potential 4 or 5-pointer. McDonald works low, double team, swatted away.
Called jump ball. Good call.
And Georgetown will keep it. The arrow is pointing in their direction. Thompson at the edge of his coaching box again. The rule in college, 3 technicals in your round, as opposed to the pros is 2. Jackson off. Fight for the rebound. Connecticut ball, a chance to close to within 2.
Bodies flying. Of course, Georgetown's philosophy is let it up quick, attack the glass, and they've got great recovery powers. Everybody gets back, balancing the floor.
They're all over the place. This press is tough. I don't know what Burnell might have said in that timeout, Bill. Maybe you can speculate. Broxton over Ewing. Short. Look at that offensive rebound by Frederick, and a block by Ewing, but a foul first is called against Wingate.
Alvin Frederick, of all the UConn players, he's the most active and really would fit in with the Georgetown.
Yes, he would.
Quick, great reactions, speed to the basketball, great leaping ability.
Frederick, a senior from Stanford, a junior college transfer, so in his second season.
It's no question they're looking for the quick shot. I'm sure Dom's asked his club, and here Patrick hanging in with the block down underneath the foul.
Frederick averages 12 points a game. He scored 12 in their second meeting. These clubs met January 23rd at the Cap Center. Georgetown won by 13. They met again end of February 23rd at Hartford. Record New England basketball crowd. Georgetown, that's when they started to flex their muscles. 68-47. They started to make their move getting ready for St. John's and Syracuse.
Now they're very tough at the end of the year, every year.
They're 8-0 in February. McDonald, a little lefty push-up, and it's in.
Billy Martin's a very important part of the press. Keys, channels the ball, traps, great arm span also.
Now Terry Coffey double team in the lineup, the freshman. Broxton comes away and traveled with it. So another turnover. And we will quickly see Eddie Williams coming out for Connecticut. Happy to see Eddie back. He dislocated a wrist at Syracuse and missed several games. And now Eddie came back, scored 10 against Seton Hall. And that's surprising. Connecticut lost last Saturday night. I picked up the paper and
shocked you, huh?
Seton Hall finally won their first conference game, last game of the year against Connecticut, who played awfully well at Boston College Monday.
Off the schneid. And of course, I think UConn went in there expecting to win. And that's what happened.
No automatic W's in the league. Wingate rims it. Rebound. Broxton, Connecticut, close to within 2. Nearing 5 minutes gone first half. Broxton all the way through it in. It's 12-10.
Now you mentioned Earl Kelly. Right back at you is Georgetown. He must get back. But Kelly has to run it. He's got to be the choreographer.
McDonald. And rolls it in. Tough hoop by the freshman from New Orleans.
Calming people down now. Patrick's been a little upset at the banging by the UConn club. And of course, Tom Perno said he's been doing that for a few years. Let us get our shot.
So McDonald with a couple of tough hoops, and a little over 5 minutes gone. It's 14-10. Georgetown by 4. Frederick got Ewing to commit all the way through, but an offensive foul is called. It was a pretty move despite the foul.
The best defender on the Georgetown team is David Wingate. Set up early. What a pump fake can do for you. And how would you like this fella coming into your easy chair? David Wingate nice and early. Frederick with a little dipsy-do. No go.
So, now Bill Martin sits down, and Ralph Dalton, the senior from Sealy, Maryland, comes back in. So, Georgetown going with their version of the Twin Towers with Dalton and Ewing. Georgetown leads by 4, Bill.
1-2-2, Len. Done a few things defensively, UConn.
Dalton pushed off.
Good call, ref. You're right on top of it.
And did they start with the boxing one with those 3 fouls on Reggie Williams? I didn't even notice.
Had to take him out, exactly. No sense in doing it. They didn't want to rag anybody. Of course, I thought, too, with Michael Jackson being their only point guard, sometimes you might think they might rag him, make him give it up, and let the other 4 play along.
Horace Brudmack's now in the lineup for Georgetown. They just keep coming at you. They're already 8 or 9 deep, and we've only played 6 minutes. Jimmy Coles hits it, 14-12, Georgetown.
UConn's made the commitment. Beat the press, go to the goal. Takes the judgment out of it.
Connecticut was going. You notice they're fronting and backing Ewing at every opportunity. Look at Williams, almost a tag team. Always notice where Ewing is. Double team. Broadbacks over Williams. Then he hits it. Boy, Georgetown's shooting percentage has given them their 4-point lead. They're not missing much this afternoon. They're 8 of 13 so far.
And that may have been the toughest shot they've had.
Yeah, the other one by McDonald.
They've got 4 seconds to get it over.
Broxton runs in to Wingate. No call. And Broxton, a wild miss. Cole, the wild follow. Look what I found, everybody. Timmy Coles.
Georgetown's transition right back at you. Disadvantage.
McDonald here. They just come right back at you. 6 points for McDonald. 18-14. Back to the fourth we go. Georgetown by 4. McDonald's 3 for 3.
Very tough to organize your defense with that speed coming right down the floor.
And here comes Connecticut. Over Ewing. And the foul goes against Patrick. That's the first for him and the 7th against Georgetown. So they're in the bonus. And Ewing will rest. McDonald will rest.
Eddie Williams made his mind up early. He said, I'm not going to have this blocked. I don't want it. You take it, Alvin. It goes pretty good hang time. Patrick straight up. The body contact, wingspan, and presence in the middle.
Look at the knee span. He takes up 2 seats. Frederick has 2 points from the line. And now we'll try again.
Lenny, on these types of games, Georgetown has a tendency to forget about Patrick Ewing. By that, the zones, final, everybody looks for themselves. It seems in what you would consider a bigger, tougher game that they really know they need him. It's an unusual set of circumstances. They play without him frequently.
We've played 7 minutes. Opening quarterfinal live from Madison Square Garden.
Good dish.
Martin moved the ball so effectively. 20-16, Georgetown by 4 with 12:40 remaining first half. They quickly get in the forecourt. Frederick is off with Broxton. Bobby's flying everywhere on defense.
So now they should get it inside without Patrick in there.
Reggie Williams dribbles it up, playing with 3 personal fouls. Georgetown hasn't missed one in a while.
That zone's deep now.
Wingate off the glass. There's a miss. Rebound. Connecticut again. Opportunity to close to within 2. They're staying within shooting distance. Kelly gets on the board. His first field goal with a tough shot. Averages 17 a game.
Now, people talking about the Pearl. 2 guards to me that have had sensational years. Earl Kelly and Michael Allen. Michael bottomed a little, came right back.
I agree with you.
They may have outplayed the Pearl.
First time off the year. We saw the highlights yesterday at the Big East luncheon of the game Pearl had here against Connecticut in the afternoon. And just by watching those highlights, you realize how Pearl has been off the notch this season. And now Connecticut a chance to tie it at 20. They're in this thing. 11:40. Look at Kelly go to work. A Pearl move and a pass, but it hit the rim, unfortunately, for Connecticut. The scramble and back from the Hoyas. 2-on-2. Broadnax. Oh, that's a pretty move. Broadnax lefty.
Almost lost the dribble, but good move with the left hand. Baby hook.
All right, next dead ball will be a television timeout. 22-18. Georgetown by 4. Williams off, and a foul by Frederick, and that makes Perno unhappy. As Frederick, I have for 3.
Well, when you open up the gun like UConn has, you'll end up with some tough shots like that.
Timeout. It's Georgetown 22, Connecticut 18. It's been a back and forth first half, but Georgetown has led throughout. We'll be right back after this, everybody. Square Garden, Georgetown leads by 4 as we near the halfway mark of the first half. We'd like to remind you the broadcast rights to this game are granted by the Big East Conference to Metro Sports with exclusive production contract with TCS Productions. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without prior written consent prohibited. The announcers on this telecast have been hired and paid for by TCS Metro Sports in consultation with the Big East Conference. And a reminder, coming up at halftime, Mike Gorman We'll have highlights, feature packages, interviews, and then Mike will be joined by Ronnie Perry for the Syracuse-Boston College game, which will follow immediately on many of these same stations.
Little surprise. Reggie Williams.
Yeah, playing at the 3.
John feels they're intelligent enough to handle it. We shall see.
Jackson from deep. Michael Jackson, it's hard to believe his top game this year, only 14 points against Nevada, Las Vegas. We saw his career high last year, 31, when he killed Syracuse.
I think John's testing the officials also. If he was upset about the 3, maybe they won't call another one.
Oh, Kelly has to arc it way over as Ewing's back, and a foul goes against Broadneck. So Georgetown has committed the allotment of fouls, 17 fouls in the first half. So Connecticut will go to the line here on out.
You know, Len, when you challenge Patrick Ewing, a lot of good things can happen. You've got him out of a rebounding position. You might make the shot occasionally, but you've also got good offensive rebounding position. So if you can get into his area and also dish off, some good things can take place. A lot of bad things also.
Terrence Warren, a weak foul shooter, will go to the line for Connecticut. Hits the first one. Fell off balance as he did. I don't think he's too confident at the line, but hit the foul shot and draws Connecticut within 5. You see his free throw shooting for the year. Down around break even. But 2 for 2 that time for the freshman. 24-20. Connecticut still has a foul to waste before Georgetown goes bonus at the line. There's our score nearing the halfway mark of the first half of the opener. Broadnax off, Broxton the rebound, and how many times have we said Connecticut with a chance to close to within 2? Here they go again.
Well, they're back down there to rebound, but Patrick being fronted did kiss it off.
Broadnax nearly traveled and he threw it away. Another Connecticut turnover. That's been the key so far. Jackson nearly traveled. McDonald threw it up wildly. I don't know if it was a pass or a shot, but a foul was called.
Timmy Coles saying, good call, ref. Patrick Ewing not too happy with it.
Ewing whistled for his second. So Thompson getting a workout as he toes the coaching box line on the far side.
He wanted a foul. That whole fast break was out of sync. McDonald on the shot is what John wants it for, but they fumbled the ball. You saw Jackson almost walked the whole play. And they're saying Patrick with the push on Timmy Coles, but the whole play just didn't have a good feel.
So Coles, the 3rd best foul shooter in the Big East Conference, misses the front end. Connecticut gets it back. Coles tipped away by Ewing, goes over Ewing. Coles again by Ewing, and he falling to the floor with, and falling, that should be a foul. He fell right on top of him, Bill, and they call a tied-up ball. Connecticut keeps it.
Well, I thought McDonald did the right thing. It may, in a sense, have been a walk. You know, you catch it and fall to the floor. But McDonald, when a man's on the floor, you can pin him. UConn retains possession.
Pin him is one thing, but he jumped on him, like wrestling.
Well, it's a Big East tournament. There's
my goodness.
different rules at times.
That was Eddie Williams on the bottom. McDonald tipped it off Kelly's fingertips. That's a good call by Mickey Crowley.
Sure was.
And there's the technical foul as Perno was out of the coaching box. So the technicals are even. It's getting hairy here in game number 1.
Well, they both got the foul with the other man having the basketball, so it's not as bad as getting the 2 when you have the ball.
Perno was up and down. I think he had a beef there, Bill, on that other call. I thought jumping on top and falling on him and trying to get it was one thing, but it was like he did a 3-point dive onto Eddie Williams on the floor.
What may have precipitated was Coles not having a foul called underneath.
Jackson, he's having an off foul shooting year, but he's their best traditionally. Hits the first one. And Georgetown will also get the ball back. 6-point lead, 26-20. 6 points for Jackson. You see the line right there, and Perno went right across.
Just
the tee was called.
Seem enough.
There's no way you could have coached with a coaching box, Bill Raftery.
I had those cockroach shoes, the pointy toes.
Look at Thompson there, he's wearing his press pass as if nobody would recognize who he is when he walked in.
The security's so tough here, he may not have gotten in.
Georgetown ball with a 6-point lead. 9.5 minutes remaining. First half of quarterfinal number 1. Ewing is fouled by either Coles or Williams. Williams says it's me. He wants to call on him. Let's see.
They're not giving much opportunity to Patrick Ewing to do anything. Fronting, if he happens to get the ball, they're going down and digging on him, and it's a good player like Patrick that will kick the ball back. One in front, one in back, and Earl Kelly using a little extra.
Look at
Kelly
using
style.
leg style. Kelly looked like a flamenco dancer on defense.
2 minutes for high legging.
Doing a 65% foul shooting. Well, turns his body a bit on the free throw. Maybe a new free throw shooting style for Patrick. Hits the first. Look at the way he just stares down the rim. Never takes his eye off of it. Look at this.
He's never out of the game either. Just total involvement.
His body turns. Oh, good offensive rebound by Martin. Misses. Ewing came flying in, and let's see if the foul is on Patrick or not.
Number 2.
If it's on Ewing, Bill,
I believe that.
I have him for 3. That's his third.
Okay, and of course I thought it was a lane violation by Georgetown on the free throw.
I thought there was a lane violation on Georgetown on the Coles free throw on the other side.
Well, if it had been called underneath and in the lane early, right there, Billy Martin, if that had been called, Patrick would not have come over the top. He got everybody, including Billy Martin.
So Dalton is in. Number 33 sits with 3, and Broxton goes to the line. He's an excellent foul shooter, 87% on the year. Georgetown with its biggest lead, but its big man is on the bench. Wingate comes back, and Connecticut is living from the line. 9 of their 21 points from the foul line, Bill, which means what? They've only made 6 field goals. Only missed 1 foul shot.
John did not gamble long with Reggie Williams either.
So Williams, 2 key guys, Williams and Ewing, 3 each. What was a Georgetown 7-point advantage is 5 with 9:20 remaining.
Little half-court trap back into the 1-2-2. They're going to force Georgetown, and as you know, when they lose, they don't shoot well in or at the free throw line.
And Coles over the top. So Timmy picks up his foul. That's a good point, Billy. They had struggled at times with their foul shots. Even in the St. John's game, which they had easily in hand, the note to keep in mind was how deeply they were in foul trouble in that game. The numbers of fouls, the numbers of players with 3 and 4 fouls. That could tell a tale somewhere down the road for Georgetown this year. A lot of people are conceding them a national championship repeat. Not so fast.
What they happen to do, though, to make up for that, great defense, challenge all the shots, terrific rebounding team, and, of course, the all-important delay game come NCAA time. I think they do it better than anybody.
And with the depth they have, they can afford to have several guys in foul trouble, and here they keep the foul shot alive. So they have a 6-point lead, 9 minutes to go first half, and they have a chance to up it to 8. Zone from Connecticut.
UConn has been rebounding decently. The last couple now, without Patrick in the game, they've slacked off.
The defense. Martin, but everybody can shoot it. Now here's their largest lead, 30-28, 30-22 rather, 8-point lead.
Now Earl Kelly, smooth, runs the show well, good with the ball, very intelligent point guard.
Warren is caught by McDonald. Freshman getting a lot of playing time. McDonald for Georgetown. Kelly lets fly. Nothing but net. 6 points for Kelly, and it's a 6-point Georgetown lead. Here come the Hoyas now, as we're near the 8-minute mark.
For a lot of people, that would look like a force. Rather smooth release by Earl Kelly.
Oh, that's tough, isn't it? Guy buries it deep from the corner. Wingate with 6 points. Georgetown just comes at you all over the place. They have to get it in bounds, and they didn't do it. They had 5 seconds, didn't make it. Dead ball, and it's time for another television timeout. So when we come back, Georgetown will have the ball again with an 8-point lead. So TV timeout, our score: Georgetown 32, Connecticut 24. Ewing on the bench with 3 personal fouls. We'll be right back, everybody. Live, if you're tuning into basketball and you wonder who else is watching, well, we're on the air live on WOR in New York, our flagship station. Other cities watching us live this afternoon from New York: Worcester, Massachusetts, Hartford, Pittsburgh, Johnstown, Pennsylvania, Washington, D.C. on WTTG, Allentown, PA, Concord, Manchester, New Hampshire, Hickory, North Carolina, Fargo, North Dakota. Hello, Fargo. Charleston, Huntington, West Virginia, Albany, New York, and a special hello has to go to the viewers watching live right now on KSKN television in Spokane, Washington, where it's somewhere early morning out there. Welcome, Spokane, to Big East Basketball Live. Len Berman along with Bill Raftery and Mike Gorman, Ronnie Perry. Happy to have you with us from New York City this afternoon at the Big East Championship.
And those turnovers haven't been able to convert many, but
very good.
They will hurt UConn down the stretch.
So with Ewing on the bench and Williams on the bench, the Hoyas have their largest lead, 34-24, with 7:35 remaining first half.
UConn has 4 across the foul line, 2 extended and 2 on the foul line. They've been trapped easily and not gotten free. So the concern might be the amount of bodies down at one end of the floor. A little bit like St. John's sets up.
I think Kelly is just going to have to take over control of the outcome. I don't want to coach here, but he's got 6 points, but he's obviously the big gun, can make a lot of things happen. He's going to have to do it. Here he goes here. That doesn't happen that time. Martin the rebound, but I defend that in a way, Bill. I know you as a coach don't like that, but I think he's got to do it. Broadband. Followed by Dalton. Strong rebound, but he was behind the backboard. Tip back outside. A fresh 45 for the Hoyas inside of 7 minutes to go first half with a 10-point lead.
Last 2 minutes. The Hoyas have been banging the glass on the offensive end.
Oh, look at that one. So Martin with 2. You know, Bill, when Ewing went out with fouls, Georgetown had a 5-point lead. They now lead by 12.
Well, their defense is constant, and the banging of the glass has helped them. Getting some offensive follow-ups.
Remember, the winner of this game plays the winner of the Syracuse-Boston College first-round matchup, which follows immediately on most of these stations. Another Georgetown turnover. Here goes Wingate for 2. The Hoyas are flying with a 14-point lead, and Connecticut does what they have to do. They take a timeout.
Michael Jackson on the money with the loop pass.
So we'll watch it one more time as Wingate hits 8 points on the fly. Here we go. Timeout in the action hour score. Georgetown 38, UConn 24. Wingate goes flying. We'll be right back to Big East Championship basketball in a minute. Score, Georgetown leading Connecticut 38-24. Coming up at halftime, we'll have our Big East music video. It'll be the season highlight package along with Mike Gorman and our Piedmont Control Center with a review of our first half action and tournament action update. So that's all coming up at halftime. How's this statistic, Bill? Turnovers. Georgetown 1, Connecticut 10.
It's not good for UConn anyhow.
Oh, there's King in the lineup for the first time, and he walked Jeff King, 6'10 freshman from Lansing, Michigan. So turnover number 11. And with 6 minutes remaining in the first half, it's all Georgetown, lead by 14.
And the press is wearing on UConn. The alley-oop.
Oh, and Martin missed it. The fight. Warren
on the end line. Warren
was stepping on the sideline, and Georgetown will keep it. It's all going the Hoyas' way. And now Terry Coffey will come back on for Connecticut. He'll replace Warren.
UConn's like going to the bakery. There's so many choices. Absolutely perfectly thrown pass. And Billy Martin loved that one back.
Dalton is stripped inside and lost it. It's Connecticut ball.
Good heads-up play by Terry Coffey. Now this is the 4 across. They've been hiding the guard recently. Michael Jackson got involved with Earl Kelly. They're trying to keep him, once the ball is inbounded, keep him out of the game. Clever ploy.
Michael Jackson, second to 1-1. Dom Perno was calling for a 2-shot foul, claiming the ball had not been inbounded
Well,
yet.
When you make a good move, you might as well hold on to the man. Don't let him get free. And right on top of it, the slummer, Richie Slumkowski, former San Francisco Giant pitcher a few years back.
So now we'll see the #1 foul shooter in the Big East Conference this year, Earl Kelly, twirling the ball. Shouldn't have mentioned he was #1 in the conference.
They need those, the gifts.
Wingate flying off the wing, Coffey all over him. Out to Broadmax. They move the ball so smartly, the Hoyas do.
They'll throw it high and they can all catch.
Another corner shot, but no, a foul underneath, and this will go against Dalton. So this will result in foul shots at the other end. Dalton's second personal foul. So
Cleared the baseline out. Ralph can't believe it. I didn't do a thing.
Come on, John, you can take off your press badge.
Recognizable.
So, freshman will go to the line. King.
John just doesn't know how to win.
Go ahead, explain that one.
He wins so often. Tongue-in-cheek.
Jeff King. So now, he's just a 40% foul shoot. Very limited action this year for Jeff. Comes in a spot here and hits the first foul shot on the front end of a 1-and-1. We have 5:32 remaining first half. Georgetown, as expected, with the lead over Connecticut. Now a first quarterfinal game.
When you start on October 15th, you prepare your team for all facets of the game. And then as the season goes on, you hope to improve. Well, Georgetown does all that, and in February, they step it up another notch, tighten it, just modify what they're doing, and are very tough at stretch time.
Good rebound by King. Here come the Huskies. Back out for Kelly, nearing the 5-minute mark remaining in the first half. Georgetown leading by 12. Even scoring for Georgetown. Wingate leads them with 8.
Pretty good move.
Inside, the tip from Coles. Georgetown is saying above the cylinder, but no call.
Good non-call. Good timing.
Coles leads Connecticut now with 8 points. And inside of 5 minutes now. And Georgetown with a 10-point lead. It was 14 moments ago. But a rare time. They missed 2 in a row. Brodnax. Missed 3 in a row. Kelly, a chance to cut it to 8. Running against Brodnax. Puts it behind his back. Backs off.
Step for step, Horace Brodnax defensively.
And called for pushing off is Earl Kelly.
Stayed with them all the way and on the spin. And that's the danger of the spin.
That's his first personal.
As you protect the dribble, you'll extend your arm as you protect the dribble. Right there, the little right arm shove. Knick-knack.
Yeah, but that
5 and dime.
That evens the Knicks. We had a knack early in the game against Georgetown. So, Hoya ball, 10-point lead. 4:20 remaining first half. Donald back in. Donald's roving the baseline. Here he is on the other side. Deflected, but a foul call against King.
Out aggressively. Ralph Dalton, sort of an unsung player, a little bit like Eddie Spriggs a few years ago. Comes in, fills that void with fouls or subs for Patrick when he needs a rest, or plays with him. And a contributor, takes up a lot of area. And he's overcome that terrible knee injury a few years ago. And we've mentioned before the strange shoes that he wears for that reason. They're wrestler shoes or boxer shoes.
McDonald, a poor free throw shooter, hits his first. He's averaging only 45% from the line this year. That's a 7th point. Fellow who averages just 5 a game. Talked about the boxing shoes. He was a Golden Gloves boxer, this kid.
Don't mix it up with him, huh? Chris, I think you're afraid of a lot of guys in this league.
I don't mix it up with any of them.
With our bodies, we should be.
4-minute mark, 40-28, Georgetown by 12. King off, follows himself, and gets it back outside, all the way out to Kelly. Fresh 45. Kelly off glass. Good scramble, good fight. Kelly tiptoes the line and out of bounds, and
off of Billy Martin, pretty good play.
Connecticut ball again.
Well, John Thompson has to be delighted the way his team is playing, yet UConn could conceivably get back inside that 10 figure by the half and maybe get the coaches back in the ballgame. Right now, they're really pulling for points.
Well, they should with Ewing and Williams both in foul trouble on the bench, but not that way.
Well, you forget how good these other athletes are on Georgetown.
McDonald, miss. King gets the tip rebound. They throw it away. Hoyer's cradle it. 3:20 remaining first half. Georgetown leads by 12.
Perfect spot for a bounce pass outlet. Wouldn't have been a turnover.
These teams have never played up until today in tournament play. Never met. Connecticut won a tournament game back in 1980. They beat Boston College. They haven't won one since. Georgetown, of course, the tournament champs. 3 years out of the 5. Looking to make it 4 of 6. Is the basket good? And then a foul. Let's see what the call is. The hoop is good. So Martin gets the hoop. 8 points for him. Coles gets the foul. That's his second personal.
Nice triangle play there. Ralph Dalton in the middle. The kiss to the corner.
So now that rare collegiate play, a chance for a 4-point play because the foul was away from the hoop. So the hoop is good, and McDonald has a chance for 1-1. And now a chance to expand their lead, which is the biggest right now, 42-28. Ooh, spin around and out. Good rebound by King. So Connecticut dodged one there. Here, they didn't dodge it here. McDonald. He misses. The little guy, Broadnax follows. The big guy, Dalton. There was a foul somewhere in there. I never heard the whistle. Jerry Besseling, perhaps, Bill?
Gets a few dollars worth on his fouls, but once again, the aggressive, the mental attitude of the Georgetown team. Persevere, attack. They keep going after it. You can't lob a pass. Here, the run under by Earl Kelly gets away with a foul. The miss, and here comes the Hoyas. First Broadnax, all of a sudden, Ralph Dalton. And Jerry Besselink, as you called it, with the foul.
Dalton hits his 4th point. Let me go over this Georgetown scoring. It's way spread out. McDonald 8, Martin 8, Wingate 8, Jackson 6, Ewing 5. Those special boxing shoes that Dalton wears. Missed that foul shot. You've heard the story before. They thought Dalton would never play again after that.
Remember seeing him on the sideline every game, I guess 3 years ago.
Yeah. Warren lets fly, and it's good. His first field goal. Terrence with 4 points. The Hoya lead is 13. 2:20. You're right. They want to get it down to 10 or maybe a little less. Stay in contact here. The block. Good play by Broxton. The save by Warren. Huskies have it, and a chance to close to an 11 as we near the 2-minute mark of the first half.
And Don Perna's going to say, stop throwing the ball away and rebound. Those are the 2 points that have hurt his club this first half.
Just joining us, we wonder where's Patrick Ewing, where's Reggie Williams?
Ooh,
the shot by Warren. Terrence brings them within 11. Well, Ewing and Williams both on the bench with 3 fouls apiece. And a minute 45 remaining first half, and the Hoya lead is down to 11. Martin deep in the corner, and Bill Martin hits double figures, the first one to do so.
And pressing-wise, he, I believe, is their best presser. Very active.
What a player. Did I read somewhere that he's quietly maybe working himself into a first-round NBA draft pick?
Well, I think it's more than quiet now, and you called him, Billy Martin, just with a little push on Jeff King. But everybody in the country aware of Patrick. But Billy Martin, strong forward now without Graham being there, but an aggressive, good shooter, good rebound, and an excellent presser.
Their second leading scorer and rebounder. King from the line. Earns the second chance of a 1-and-1 as he hits his 3rd point. Connecticut from the line, Bill, 13 of 15, which means they've hit just 10 field goals in the first half. All right, it's 11-point Georgetown lead. Minute 25 remaining to our halftime presentation with Mike Gorman.
Nice to see Michael. Because we spent a few years with him already. He and Ronnie Perry will tee it up in an hour or so.
Martin with 12 points for Bill. The lead is 13 as we near the minute mark. 64 seconds remaining. First half. Georgetown is led throughout. As expected, King over Dalton. Tough shot. Besselink with the tip. His first field goal. Jerry Besselink. And the Georgetown lead is 11. 50 seconds remaining first half.
Jeff King with some long jump shots. The bench not too happy with him, but a bailout tip by Jerry Besselink.
Well, Kelly held to 6 points in the first half. In fact, he's sitting down right now.
Now, they've been able to get the ball in tight, Georgetown. It's the first time they've deflected or got a piece of it in quite a while.
All right, Connecticut can hold for 1 shot with the hope of going to the locker room trailing by 9, and that'll be good for them because they were down 15 moments ago. So this would be a nice possession or a good chance for Connecticut to gain respectability after 20 minutes of play. They're doing it without Earl Kelly.
They better not shoot too early because Georgetown, with that great floor speed,
Can take it the other way. All right, 7 seconds left in the half.
Warren lets fly. No serve. Connecticut keeps it alive. Throws up a wild shot off the rim. 1 second. We're at halftime. That's it. Georgetown leads it by 11 after 20 minutes of action. They never trailed in the first half. So that's the end of our first half action. Our score, Georgetown 47, Connecticut 36. Bill Martin leading the Hoyas in the first half with 12. We'll be back right after this. So, live from Madison Square Garden, halfway through quarterfinal number 1. Georgetown leads Connecticut 47-36. Georgetown led by Bill Martin's 12, Perry McDonald, David Wingate with 8 apiece, and Connecticut led by Tim Coles with 8 points. Remember, the winner of this game plays the winner of the Syracuse-Boston College game, which will follow immediately on most of these stations. Boston College, coached by Gary Williams. We'll be hearing from him in just a moment when we go to Mike Gorman in our control studio. So our score, 47-36, Georgetown over Connecticut. We'll be back with more of our halftime festivities from Madison Square Garden in just a minute.
And welcome back to halftime, everybody. We are here at Madison Square Garden live for the Big East Conference Basketball Championships. And as you can see, the Georgetown Hoyas have themselves an 11-point lead at halftime, even though Patrick Ewing and Reggie Williams are riding the bench right now with 3 fouls. Billy Martin has done a nice job for the Georgetown Hoyas, the #1 ranked team in the country, in picking up the slack. He has 12 points. All night long, we're going to be taking some musical looks at the Big East. While we have a chance, let's look back now to last year's tournament. The music is Van Halen's Jump. This is last year's Big East Championship. That's how it was last year. We were at halftime, game one of this year's Big East tournament, 47-36. Georgetown on top. We'll be back with Gary Williams of Boston College when we come back to Madison Square Garden with more of our halftime right after this. We are live at Madison Square Garden. The Georgetown Hoyas with an 11-point lead right now over the Connecticut Huskies. I'm Mike Gorman, and joining me here in our control center right now, the man who will be on the floor in just about an hour, Gary Williams, the head coach at Boston College. First off, Gary, your thoughts on game one, what we've seen so far?
Well, I thought Connecticut did a good job of getting Georgetown in some foul problems, but Georgetown right now is shooting the ball so well. It's really a problem. You think you have things shut off and somebody hits a 20-foot jumper and you're right back where you were. So I think Connecticut just has to hope Georgetown cools off a little bit the second half.
They have a lot of answers, don't they?
There's about 8 of them, 5 out in the court and 3 on the bench. So.
Okay, coming up, you've got Syracuse. You have had 2 wars with Syracuse so far this year. The schedule has played a little bit of a trick on you. You've been off for 9 days coming into this game. What's that mean?
We needed some time off, so that part was good, but I don't know if we needed 9 days. It's very hard to practice this time of year for 4 straight days without any games. The players aren't used to it, so I just hope we didn't get stale, and I hope we're ready to play. I think in their minds they really want to play a game today, so I'm looking forward to us going out and playing well today.
The media, I know, views this game between you and Syracuse, 99-98 in overtime. Is it going to be a run-and-gun show?
Neither game has been this year. It's been amazing. As a coach, I thought it would be a running game, but we try to slow Syracuse down a little bit with the Pearl, and I think they worry about Michael Adams.
Well, you've got 2 of the best point guards in the country, I would say, participating in this. You like to press. How does the presence of someone like Pearl change that basic philosophy?
The problem with Dwayne Washington is when you press him and double team him, he's capable of dribbling through your double team where most players aren't. And if he gets through that, then all of a sudden it's 5-on-3, and you don't want that with the ball in his hands. So we do a little more man-to-man pressure against him and a little less pressure than we normally do.
Okay, Madison Square Garden has now become pretty much the home of the Big East basketball tournament. Your thoughts about coming down here, Rabib?
I just think it's great. I was out there, I talked to Frank McGuire and, people like that. It's a big thrill for me, and I just enjoy the whole atmosphere here. It's a circus. My goal will someday is to come back not having to coach and just enjoy the whole thing.
It's interesting, too, some of the matchups we have. I know a lot of the coaches are going to have to say goodbye to Joe Mulaney tonight. That's going to be a touching moment.
Sure will. Joe, I respect Joe. Joe's done a great job over his whole career.
Okay, Gary, best of luck this afternoon against Syracuse.
Thanks, Mike.
Okay. We will have more of our halftime. In fact, we will have first half stats coming up right after this from Madison Square Garden. Georgetown by 11 at the half.
This tournament from Madison Square Garden in New York City is brought to you by Piedmont. Call your travel agent or Piedmont and find out why in over 100 cities they call us the up-and-coming airline. By Lowenbrow from Miller. When you want the taste of a truly great beer, there's really only one. Tonight, let it be Lowenbrow. By Gillette, makers of Right Guard. You work hard, you need Right Guard. By Daly's Juice Products, who remind you there's a Daly's treat for everyone. And by National Car Rental. You deserve national attention. Back live at Madison Square Garden. Second half action underway. Georgetown leading Connecticut 47-36. And Georgetown has the ball. Here we go.
Here's your box and 1, Len. Michael Jackson. Warren on Jackson.
And Warren with the steal. They had hoped to have a box and 1 against Reggie Williams. Reggie in foul trouble, and Wingate runs over a fan in the front row.
You can't relax. Warren dribbling the ball up effortlessly. Look at the stats. You have to pay attention with the basketball.
Connecticut shooting just 34%. Of course, Georgetown #1 in the conference in field goals defense. Coles on the miss.
Oh.
Frederick, look what I found. And Ewing swats it away.
Good head and shoulder move.
Reggie Williams with 3 fouls. Ewing with 3 fouls. Bill Martin uncontested for the layup. And the Hoyas, Martin leading the way with 14 points at the 13-point Georgetown lead.
Kept alive by Patrick Ewing. Steal by Patrick Ewing.
Tipped out of bounds on the far side. Georgetown has a shot of setting a tournament record for number of shots taken. They took 43 in the first half. The record's 77. They have a chance of the tournament record for assists. They had 16 assists with just 3 for Connecticut in the first half. The tournament record, says our statistician Sandy Montag, is 25. Coles with an authoritative 2.
Patrick filled it up once, couldn't react. We've seen him do that. Stop one and go get the other.
The other key statistic here is the best free throw shooting team in the conference is Connecticut. They were 14 of 16 in the first half. The worst free throw shooting team in the conference is Georgetown. They were 7 of 11. Ewing with the reverse, and he's fouled, and we'll see what he can do from the line as Broxton picks up his second.
There's another assist. Jackson, the touch pass, Martin. Very pretty basketball right now. Excellent interior passing. This is the box and one or diamond and one. The look away, the touch, the finish. A little help there.
Gary Williams on at halftime. I heard you on your Nets broadcast last night speculating that perhaps Gary is interested in Joe Mulaney's job at Providence.
You heard Steve Albert speculate.
You didn't speculate.
But, there were some rumors to that effect that there was some interest in Gary, so one never knows.
Lou Lamarillo, the athletic director of Providence, told me yesterday they had a lot of excellent candidates and they will not make a decision for a couple of weeks down the road. But we will see Joe Mulaney in perhaps his last game of a glorious career. Broxton steals it. That's 7 o'clock Eastern time on most of these stations. And Providence hosts St. John's. Trying to work Ewing. Fake him 3 times. Ewing doesn't take a fake. Doesn't matter. Just stands there, and Cole shoots over.
Tough effort there by Timmy Cole.
51-40. Georgetown by 11. They led at halftime by 11. We've played 2 minutes of the second half now. Broxton aggressive defensively. Ewing inside just rolls it in cutely, and 9 points for Ewing, and quickly 2 second-half field goals. That's all he had in the first half. Of course, he had the 3 personals.
You got to watch the pretty close to a 10-second violation.
Double team on Kelly. Kelly gets it back. Good move by Kelly. Doesn't go. Ewing the rebound. 2.5 minutes gone, and traveling call against Jackson as Kelly was waiting, and Connecticut gets it back, trailing by 13.
One 3-1 Georgetown. Diagonal pass.
Broxton in the lane, but forced it up too quickly. He had breathing room. He was just afraid that Patrick was closer than he really was, and forced up a little shot.
You like to get rid of it quickly when he's around.
Like a quarterback. With the defensive backs coming, Wingate hits it, and they pause a moment to untangle the net under the rim, but Wingate with double figures. Martin has 14, Ewing has 9, McDonald has 8, and on it goes. This ties their largest lead, 15, 55-40, as we near 3 minutes gone second half. Kelly twirls away, goes over Jackson. Boy, he's running a tough luck, but Broxton follows. I love the second half he's having. Coles over Ewing, again faking, and Ewing not moving.
Well, he does hold his ground.
Jackson comes flying. Dish off. Wingate.
Oh, that's something.
And a foul is called against Broxton. That's his 3rd.
Doing a little bit of everything. It's a wide open game. Very conducive to Georgetown. Connecticut making the decision early. If they beat the press, take the goal. Georgetown relishes that decision, and Michael Jackson, the choreographer, nice looking dish, trying to slide by there for Frederick and Broxton collapsing.
People watching this now are asking, will Georgetown lose another game this year anywhere?
Well, they got a couple of days here to find out a few things about themselves.
They meet, so, you know, should they win this game, and they have it in hand as Wingate misses a pair. But Reggie Williams follows and dishes it out to Ewing, who's just standing and watching. Should they win this game, they play the winner of the Syracuse-Boston College game, which follows. Ewing.
Turning to the right, very difficult shot, and a little hang time.
Now Georgetown's largest margin, 17. It's 57-40. 3.5 minutes gone second half. Coles over Wingate, and Tim Coles hits his 14th point.
Want to get the shots, Len, when Patrick is at the other end. Not a bad decision.
That's it. Just looks it out to Wingate. He cans it. Oh, they do it all. 12 points for Wingate. They have the inside game, the outside game, and the game on the wings. How many corner jumpers have they buried this afternoon?
Shooting very well.
Frederick He answers. That's his first field goal.
Len, reflecting back to the technical on John Thompson, it looked like the officials were calling things closely. I'm sure he was upset with Reggie, and then of course Ewing, and the game has opened up a little bit since, and of course Tom Perno getting his name in the box score also.
Each coach with a coaching box technical foul in the first half. Ewing throws a 40-foot pass. Tries to get it back in, and Coles booked it away. The 45-second clock is down to 17. Martin's left alone in the corner. He could have taken a shot. Jackson could take it there. Finally does and hits it. It's really textbook with the Georgetown Hoyas. They must be at the light to coach. How would you like this group, Bill?
I might even win with this group. Just confuse so many things. Change defense as well. Of course, offensively, the change this year, Kelly with a tough shot there.
Kelly is the floor. Let's watch a fast break. Williams, the trigger man, hands off to Wingate. Misses it. Rebound, Coles.
Kelly's on the floor line.
Earl Kelly's been down for the last several seconds. Maybe caught a finger in the eye.
I think so. When he swiped at the ball, may have been touched. Hopefully he'll be all right.
Well, timeout is taken as they tend to him. The gentleman on the far side doesn't want the camera that close. So we'll take a break. Our score: Georgetown 61, Connecticut 44. We'll return to quarterfinal round action at Madison Square Garden at the Big East Championships in just a minute. Back live at Madison Square Garden, where Georgetown leading Connecticut 61-44. They've led from the opening tip. At least they scored the first basket after the opening tip, and it's been a Georgetown afternoon as expected. Frederick to miss. Timmy Coles, and a foul. Reggie Williams just picked up his fourth.
And there was no timeout charged, Len, because of the substitution for Kelly. So that saves Connecticut if they may need it later. But that's a very important foul for both clubs. One, it takes an offensive threat out on Georgetown. The other, they might be able to leave somebody free for that shot.
Kelly was tended to on the far side. He has what looks like a piece of cotton in his nose. Maybe he took a shot in the nose as opposed to a finger in the eye.
Frederick up big again. Came up empty.
And hands in there by Coffey. So Georgetown keeps it. 14-20 remaining. Second half, first quarter final. Big East Championship. Georgetown leading Connecticut 61-44.
Lenny, we were talking about Georgetown earlier with all the weapons. They finish this play. They get the ball to the right spots, etc. But in the middle of the season, John Thompson says, let's up tempo. Let's one pass shoot. Let's look for ourselves. And all of a sudden, a lot of clubs will do that, and if they go south, they got better. And the shot selection improved. Getting the ball into the middle, good cut by the big man. And the giveaway.
So Broadnax in the lineup. Michael Jackson sits, and Patrick Ewing, who is 1 for 3 from the line this afternoon, makes it 2 of 4. That's his 12th point. There's Kelly. You can see that wad in his right nostril and resting on the far side. I think we'll see him again. So Ewing cans a pair, and now for the record, this is Georgetown's largest lead. 19 points, 63-44. Winner of this game meets the winner of the Syracuse-Boston College showdown, which follows immediately. Remember the controversy at the end of their last meeting at Boston Garden, a foul call.
A big lineup in there. Popping out as Ewing would if he were in the game alone.
That's King's first field goal, 6 points for Jeff. And it's 63-46.
Kelly better get well in a hurry, don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
Got all summer to stop the bleeding.
Go down to Ewing. Little guys are with him. I think the man in front, Coffey, is the one who hit him. Terry Coffey. And that's the 4th team foul against Connecticut. And Georgetown's only committed 1 in the second half as Broxton comes in and replaces Coffey. Hand off of the towel at midcourt. Georgetown with the big lead and the big lineup with Dalton and Ewing. Ewing playing with 3 fouls. Reggie Williams on the bench for Georgetown with 4. 13.5 minutes remaining second half. Martin loves that corner, doesn't he?
Good pass work, though.
Dalton elbows for a rebound, and a personal foul is committed. Connecticut picks up his 5th now, and it goes against this man, Terrence Warren, his first.
So Ralph Dalton just scratching away in there. Inside position. This normally goes down for Billy Martin. Connecticut fans saw the flailing of the arms here right away, shrugging the shoulder.
But the reach-in came before the flailing, which is a violation if detected. So, Georgetown, another crack at it. Chance to pad their leader, up by 17 now, 63-46. Ewing with the jumper. Warren a rebound. The Huskies want to run. Tipped away by Wingate. Broadnax slams it off Warren. But the call is, it worked. It's Georgetown's ball.
A little bit of everything today. Georgetown alert.
The old playground move. Throw it off the guys near the baseline.
Plant City. There's a lot of playgrounds down there.
Plant City, Florida. It was from Turkey Creek, Florida. They changed that after his freshman year. I like the sound of that better. Martin throws it up and in. Billy Martin with 16 points to lead all scorers. And the Hoyas lead by 19.
Len Berman's silent NBA draft.
Well,
Pick, I think.
I read that somewhere.
He's talented, very strong, too.
I wish I knew specifically where I read it. I'd like to give the writer credit, but he said Bill Martin is now first-round NBA material.
David Wingate, a little too much.
And Connecticut will get it on the tied-up ball. 12 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. Second half, quarterfinal number 1 for Madison Square Garden. Here comes Kelly with Georgetown leading Connecticut 65-46. And he'll play with that piece of cotton in place. Have to breathe out of the left side.
That'll come out, I venture to say. He'll get into the ball game, it'll pop out, or he'll pull it out.
Pull the plug, Earl. Frederick off for Coles. Ewing comes out. Here's Kelly.
Georgetown so quick to every shot.
Kelly hits it.
Wingate right there, almost got that one.
Kelly's first second half field goal. That 8-point. You're excited about that defense, Bill.
Well, you don't get anything easier. They can play any defense. The reactions are superior to most clubs.
Broadnax, you know, you hear the sarcastic remark made that this team can play in the NBA right now. You cover the NBA. How would they do against some of those lesser lights?
That's a different world. A couple of them will be able to, but you can ask Sleepy Floyd how much harder. People have played at Georgetown. They'll give you a good answer.
Timmy Coles is. So Connecticut heating up a bit. Coles leads Connecticut now with 16 points, but the Georgetown lead is a full hefty 17 as we near the 11-minute mark, second half. Kelly jumping jack. The rest of the Connecticut defense not moving that much. Wingate rims it. 2 Connecticut players, Coles and Kelly, handed it to Ewing, who slammed it home. Patrick with 15 points, and Georgetown leads by 19.
Hustling by Connecticut, frustration with the tip to Patrick, and a strong send it in.
And King loses it. The Hoyas are all over the place. Take no prisoners, John Thompson. The Hoyas about to go up by 21.
Now they're great at spurts, too. They can get a lot of points quickly. They can bury you and embarrass you quicker than any team in the country.
So a television timeout with 10:34 remaining second half. Georgetown leads Connecticut 69-50. Be back with our remainder of the second half in just a minute. At the end of the game, we'll select the player of the game. It was sponsored by Gillette. And I don't know who leads the early balloting, Bill. Bill Martin? Patrick Ewing?
Bill Martin, I think.
Okay.
The press, very active. And I think second, maybe Wingate.
Okay.
Patrick's had enough of those nights, don't you think?
I defer to you. I mean, I know our producer, Paul Carlson, will be the tiebreaker, but I'll let you vote on this.
We'll check with him later. And Paul knows who's free with $1.
Yeah, rebound
second half. Connecticut actually out-rebounded Georgetown in the first half, 30-20. But in the second half, it's all Hoyas. And Grady Mateen, a freshman from Akron, Ohio, is now in the lineup for Georgetown, wearing number 51, string being the player. Flashing up by the high post. We're near the near the midway mark of the second half of a Georgetown Hoya victory. Probably in the making, as Ewing is resting now with those 3 personals. And here comes Connecticut. Eddie Williams back in the lineup.
John looked like he purposely the miss out there by Timmy Coles.
Broxton fighting. Double team blocked by Mateen. Jackson dribbles through traffic. Dish off for Martin. And there's Bill Raftery's MVP of the afternoon. Bill Martin is fouled. Georgetown goes up by 21.
Runs the floor NBA style, doesn't he? Fill in the lane. Grady Mateen earlier. They went to Grady Mateen. The miss at the other end. Michael Jackson running the break. And Billy Martin just keeps getting better.
So it's 18 points for Martin. Chance to make it 19. And they get it back. Coles committed that last personal, his 3rd.
Billy Martin looking for that corner jump shot. Unable to nail it.
Underhand, the follow by Dalton, but it's going the other way. How's that underhand move by Martin?
A little bit of everything, and John Thompson talking to Bill Martin about that play.
He picks up his 2nd personal foul on the
Really
offensive
don't need
foul.
anything
Look at this scoop move.
like this, and actually he thought he was going to walk. I don't know how he got it up there, almost with the correct English, 2 to go.
So 9:20 remaining. Georgetown leading at 71-50. Yes, this is their largest margin. Coles had a good game. Not that time. McDonald grabs the rebound.
You got to think of the size differential. Timmy Coles teeing it up against Patrick and Dalton. Not easy, but he does plug.
You're wondering what the Hoyas will look like next year after Martin and Ewing. Well, this man, McDonald, is there. So is Grady Mateen. Dalton is graduating on that miss. Martin goes up in traffic and called for travel.
Billy Martin, for one of the few times this game, didn't know where he was. Caught under the tin, he actually shot that neck ball.
And now Besselink back in for Connecticut. Ewing back for Georgetown. Dalton sits down, as does Broxton for Connecticut. So Patrick's statistics this afternoon: 15 points, a bunch of rebounds, and 3 personal fouls. And Reggie Williams back in for Georgetown. He's playing with the 4 personals. Besselink forced it in, so here we go. Another turnover. And Connecticut gets it back again with 8:45 remaining, trailing by 21. Donald's all over the place.
Awfully close to a 5-second call.
Besselink rifled that last one in there. Now he throws it in for Kelly. Earl Kelly this afternoon with just 8 points. And a foul against Michael Jackson, his 3rd, but just the 3rd team foul against Georgetown in the second half.
His 3rd personal foul, that's 3 on Jackson, and the Hoyas have 3 team fouls.
So if you're just joining us at Madison Square Garden, where we are live at 2:38 Eastern Time, 3 hours earlier for you kind folks watching in Spokane, Washington this afternoon. This morning out there, it's 71-50, Georgetown by 21. Eddie Williams lets fly. Ewing grabs another rebound.
On the way down, Len. Where he runs the floor.
Rudna banks it in.
Set up right at the correct spot. Sam Jones angle. His shot.
Cue line from Bill Chaplin, who works for Georgetown and the public relations officer, says the second team doesn't think of themselves as the second team, as King blasts it in. They don't think of the second team. They think the game has just been delayed until they got in there.
Well, when they get enough minutes, they have enough experience and confidence that, as you saw that last 8-9 minutes of the first half, they were able to hang in and even advance the lead.
McDonald for miss. Ewing tried to go up a la St. John style backwards, but got fouled on the way up that time. And if it's on Coles, it would be his fourth. And that's the story.
Some nights, Patrick only touches the ball right here because the other players are so good. When they go to him, he's devastating. When they don't, they still win.
So Coles with 4 personals goes out. You fans watching at WTTG in Washington, if you're wondering when Georgetown will next play, it will be tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, playing the winner of the Boston College-Syracuse game. Should it be Boston College? Well, BC took them to overtime the first time this year. Should it be Syracuse? Well, Syracuse beat them at the Carrier Dome, and then Georgetown just obliterated them last Sunday.
With all that put in perspective, Georgetown is coming along. I think they're a better club.
It's been tough to repeat as national champs. Not since the UCLA days, right, Bill? And Ewing with 17 points, and the Hoyas are serving notice. They are ready for postseason play. So, 7:35 remaining second half. Georgetown leads Connecticut 75-52, a 23-point lead. Right back to Madison Square in just a minute.
You know, those times when the kids are pestering you for something to drink, driving you crazy. Why not give them something new, something economical and refreshing? Give them Harvest Fresh. It's a new citrus punch that's blended from the juices of oranges, tangerines, and grapefruit. Harvest Fresh is ready to drink right out of the bottle. Just pour and enjoy it. Pick up a half gallon or two of economical Harvest Fresh today.
Here you go, Mom.
Hey, look at that! How do you do it? Tell us how it's done. First thing you gotta do.
Back at Madison Square Garden, 7:35 remaining in this one, but be sure to stay with us on, I think, all of these same stations. It's Boston College at Syracuse. Syracuse ranked 13th nationally. That's coming up about 20 minutes after the conclusion of this game, and we'll have in-between games, highlights, features, interviews. Mike Gorman and Ronnie Perry will be calling the action of Syracuse, Boston College. Coming up right after this one. Grady Mateen, the rebound. It's all Hoyas, as many suspected it would be. As everyone suspected it would be.
Using the lean, the pass to the correct hand, the baseline hand, but Patrick Ewing knowing he had Jerry Besseling pinned the release, and of course, once again, that spin on the basketball, taking to the glass. They've been doing a better job getting it in deep, the drop right, and the roll. The big man, Patrick Ewing.
So Mateen goes out. Bill Martin comes back. Patrick Ewing is now our leading scorer in the game with 19 points. Martin has 18. Coles with 16 for Connecticut. Ewing for looking for number 20 right here. Soft touch for a big guy from the line. So 20 for Ewing. 7-minute mark, and Georgetown leads by 26. Besseling, wild shot. Here they come again.
That's a strength shot.
McDonald, a miss. Williams, the make, and he's fouled. Come on, John Thompson, bring in the rest of the guys on the bench. Come on.
I see Ewing going out now, but that time Reggie Williams just pointing his finger at Jerry Besseling. He's coming out of the ball game for Al Frederick, but right now the pass work, and of course keeping it there, Perry McDonald, but the follow, Reggie Williams, and here the giveaway, just scraping the far head.
Quick, how many points did Reggie Williams score so far?
I'd say 8.
That's his first hoop and free throw. 3 points for one of their high scorers. He had 18 and 20 points respectively the last time these teams played, and of course he had a career high 25 against St. John's, but in foul trouble in the first half. First points came right there with 6:39 remaining in this Georgetown victory. Now he brings in Ronnie Highsmith.
He's paying attention to you, Len.
So Highsmith, the Army veteran from Robersonville, North Carolina, technically a freshman, wears 44. He's in the lineup. Reggie Williams just fouled out. So
Reggie's not going to be too thrilled in the locker room afterwards, but everybody else on the Hoyas will be.
Well, I'll disagree with you. And the reason I do, they have a spirit, even if they don't play well and they win. I think that's what makes them better. I know what you mean about his own playing or his own performance, but he really didn't get a chance with the fouls, Len.
All right, Reg. Tomorrow's another night against Boston College or Syracuse. I think John can even rest the towel. Kevin Floyd now, freshman from Los Angeles, gets his first playing time. So outside of Tyrone Lockhart, we've seen all of the Hoyas. I'm sure we'll see Lockhart, a sophomore from Hyde Park, Massachusetts, before this one's over.
Connecticut trying to sneak one in there, like the old playground where you throw quick and shoot.
That'll be Broxton.
Georgetown wasn't set.
Broxton picks up his fourth, and this will be the last Big East game for this man, last collegiate game probably for Ray Broxton, as well as Alvin Frederick, two of the Connecticut Huskies who are seniors. Broxton and Frederick, just 2 years in the Big East. They were both junior college transfers. So a tip of the cap to those two graduating seniors in their last game, as well as all the seniors who stood up and took a bow at yesterday's Big East player coach luncheon, Bill. That was a nice moment yesterday.
That was the nicest one we've been at. The highlight films and, of course, the special homage paid to the trainer, Jake Nevin. The foul. Ronnie Highsmith inside. Once again, quick to the basketball, Georgetown. And, of course, Joe Mulaney, John Thompson getting up and speaking of his former coach. So the whole day was tastefully done.
So Broxton just fouled out. And he ends his collegiate career with 6 points. Connecticut came into this game 13 and 14 on the year. And they beat Boston College. And going into play Seton Hall, there was some faint hopes of perhaps an NIT bid for the Huskies, but I think that's going to be tough now, with finishing at 13 and 15.
Maybe impossible, huh? More like it.
But, as they like to point out, look at how many losses to top-ranked teams playing this Big East Conference. They came out of the conference with 6 wins.
A good finish. And, of course, a disappointment at the Hall. They weren't even involved in a coin flip, correct? They would have had to play Georgetown if they
had won that game. There would have been a coin flip with Boston College.
Correct.
They might have played Syracuse, and we would have seen Boston College. But all of that doesn't mean anything. Earl Kelly's having a tough day, but 3 of 13 shooting for the star junior guard.
Georgetown has a way of taking your better performer out. The active zones out deep, causing Earl to give it up early, not getting shots in his range.
So Warren comes back. And there's Kelly, fellow we were just talking about. Look at Warren and a look at Kelly as he staggers off after a long afternoon. Broadnax hits from outside. He hits double figures. So let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4 Hoyas in double figures, and Michael Jackson has 8. Carter McDonald 8. So they're all over the place. It's 85-52. Georgetown by 23. I mean, what has to be one of the largest margins in Big East Conference tournament play, I would assume. We'll get Sandy Montag working on that for us. As we're near the 5-minute mark.
Rodney Highsmith just whacked Jeff King in that low post.
Martin from outside.
He stepped in, gathered his feet. Nice looking stroke.
20 points for Bill Martin, and the Hoya lead is 25 with 4:40 remaining. King, no. Frederick, no. Coles, no. Rebound, Highsmith.
Some easy shots, though. Not much you can do when they don't go down.
Highsmith banks it in.
John likes that mature individual, doesn't he? Steady and influence on his club. Had a few over the years.
The largest tournament margin in conference play as Timmy Coles gets 18. He's moving in on a career high in this loss. His career high is 19 points. Billy's got 18 this afternoon. The largest margin in a tournament game back in 1980 at Syracuse. Syracuse defeated Connecticut by 31 points. Here it's a 25-point margin for the same Huskies.
Gaining on it, huh? Of course, that nice shape up by Coles. Not much going right for Connecticut, but at least they're performing.
All right, so now our final television timeout of this Connecticut-Georgetown action. Georgetown leading Connecticut 89-54. We'll be right back with the conclusion of this basketball game between the Players and Huskies in a minute. Back at the Garden, TCS Metro Sports would like to thank University of Connecticut Athletic Director John Toner, Head Coach Dom Perno, Sports Information Director Tim Tolikin for their help. And at Georgetown, their Athletic Director Frank Rienzo, Coach John Thompson, and Sports Information Director for basketball, Bill Chaplin. So thanks to all those people for their help, not only this afternoon, but throughout the season. We have 3:18 winding down in this quarterfinal victory for the Georgetown Hoyas. See, John Shea is in the lineup for the first time for Connecticut, freshman from Colchester, Connecticut.
Whoops. One of the few mistakes. Kevin Floyd thought Grady Mateen was going to the hole.
So what do you like in Boston College, Syracuse, coming up next, Bill?
I'll tell you, Boston College had a tough end of the year, but I think they're ready physically now.
They've had a long layoff, as Gary Williams and Mike Gorman were talking about at halftime.
I think it's helped them. I'll give them a guess. The only concern, the giveaway foul by Terrence Warren.
I'll tell you one factor, though, and I don't have a clue who will win that game, but when it comes to playing at Madison Square Garden, the Pearl lights up.
You're beating me to the punch. The only thing is it's before prime time. Pearl after 6 is very tough.
Hey, do you remember him in the afternoon game against Connecticut last year?
I do.
He had 40 points. It was a fabulous performance. Highsmith in the foul line. We have 2:46 remaining.
But to finish my other thought was, if Addison starts nailing it, it drags that BC zone out. So I'll answer you, BC, except if Addison is making the jump shots. That'll really make them change their whole game plan or their approach to a game.
He loves the hedge. Frederick is fouled going through.
You never let me off.
2:39 remaining now. 90-54.
That's McDonald's first personal foul. First. Georgetown has 5 team fouls.
Georgetown closing in on a tournament record for rebounds in a game, shots in a game, and points in a game. Serving notice. When they hit 95 points, that's a tournament record. Nobody's gone over 100. You've got 239 to give that a shot, should they wish.
They may make it.
Final 2:38 now. First of 4 quarterfinals today and tonight from Madison Square Garden. Shea, the steal. Frederick over Highsmith, short. Holds the rebound. And Warren travels. Which team would it be? St. John's? If you had to pick a team that could give Georgetown the most trouble, you pick St. John's?
I think this particular game later, one of them. I really do.
The winner of the BC Syracuse game.
Right.
That's tomorrow night. Remember, Georgetown against the winner of BC Syracuse at 7 tomorrow night. And the winner of tonight's actions, the 2 games, those 2 winners go tomorrow night at 9. Scoop by Frederick. Highsmith a rebound.
St. John's has to get it back in gear.
And McDonald. I don't think they'll hit 100, Bill. They have 100 seconds to go, and they're 10-point shot. 90-56.
Not trying.
And Coles is fouled. Going over some point totals for you, in case you're not keeping score along with us. Tim Coles, 18 points. Leading Connecticut as Scott Carson comes on for the first time for Connecticut. And the leading scorers for Georgetown, Bill Martin, 20. Patrick Ewing, 20. Horace Broadnax hit double figures with 10, and David Wingate with 12. Chris Holes here, if he hits this point, it's ties his career high.
It proves how deep Georgetown is, how they can play without Patrick Ewing and Reggie Williams, still dominate a game. And of course, the dejected UConn bench gave it a shot early, and even with the foul-riddled Georgetown club, couldn't creep back into it in the first half.
Congratulations to Timmy Coles, a career-high 20 points. With a minute 28 remaining in the game, Georgetown leading Connecticut 90-58. There's Lockhart.
Nice penetration.
McDonald got Lockhart, Floyd. He's about the smallest Georgetown team you've seen on the floor in 4 years.
Of course, Mateen is listed as 6'10". Jeff King come over to help out and got the ball and whacked his man.
So Bill Raftery has selected Bill Martin, our Gillette player of the game, and finished with 20 points. Thank you, Gillette, for your support of Big East basketball. What do you give Bill for winning that award? How does that work?
A few free blades, but he was 6 for 10 in the first half, and that's when the game was won. Plus the good pressure he had, the full court set, trapping and being aggressive. Sets the tone for the Georgetown defense.
And Floyd takes the rebound on the missed foul shot. The only thing we have to see is the final scoring. Will Georgetown set a tournament record for conference championship action? McDonald on the miss. They're 3 points shy of the high. Now they're 1 point shy. Curry McDonald with 11 points. High score was Boston College against Syracuse in 1982, 94. And right now Georgetown has 93. So we're on the edge of our seats around America, Bill. Will Georgetown set a conference record for points scored in the game, in the tournament?
Grady Mateen with the foul. He's trying to get that ball back to see if they can. But John Thompson getting a good look at everybody. And the way he does play, a large number of substitutes. He does them quickly. You have to be prepared. Grady Mateen with the over-the-top. Got there late.
Well, Connecticut had their moment in the sun a week ago Monday night. We saw them at Boston College. Put on a terrific performance and upsetting the Eagles. Maybe they got a little overconfident, went into Seton Hall and lost, and then no shame in this one, Connecticut Husky fans. The Georgetown Hoyas did this to St. John's and Syracuse last week.
They've just been playing so well. Tom Perno, of course, his club, I think, gave the Connecticut fans something to root for this year. Good effort. The walk then by Lockhart, but the tough loss at Seton Hall may have flattened them out a little bit.
So Coles with 22 points, extending his career best. Final 30 seconds. Will the Hoyas get the tournament record? They need another field goal. There's Shea. He was drafted as a pitcher by the Philadelphia Phillies. You know that one? A left-handed pitcher gets a field goal.
You come up with them. Research.
You need them in moments like this. All right, going for the mark. Mateen and the Hoyas do not get it. And they don't get the ball back either. So 11 seconds to go. So the only thing Georgetown did not do today is set a record for most points in a tournament game.
Grady Mateen had a move baseline. Of course, with the freshman, he went back to his patented jump shot.
5 seconds. Maybe they'll do it after all. The ball is kicked, though. It's going to be Connecticut ball with 2 seconds to go. Georgetown, what they have done is tied the tournament record for largest margin, unless Connecticut gets a prayer in here. This ties the 31-point margin that Syracuse had against Connecticut. It's short. So all the records have been spoken about. The Georgetown Hoyas, led by Bill Martin's 20 and Patrick Ewing's 20, knock off the Connecticut Huskies. Handshakes at half court. Final collegiate game for Alvin Frederick and Ray Broxton of Connecticut. And now Georgetown will play the winner of the Syracuse-Boston College game, which follows immediately. 93-62 Georgetown over Connecticut in the first of our 4 quarterfinals this afternoon. Bill Raftery, and I guess we've said it all. They're just marvelous. They've got it finely tuned. They're doing it at both ends. And how do you possibly stop them?
Well, you look at this ball game. Connecticut came out big. What does Georgetown do? Go out and attack them. Takes the press to them. Does a bang-up job stealing the ball. Didn't convert early, but it does wear on you with the way they press you. But basketball-wise, they're sound in every element. And then you throw in Patrick Ewing and sort of covers up a few errors here and there.
What do you look to now? You said that Boston College, Syracuse, perhaps Boston College with the edge. But even though Boston College took, let's say Boston College would win it first. Even though Boston College took them to overtime in one game, Boston College is a small team, and the Hoyas just have too many weapons.
Well, they can play different ways. They'll slow it down a little bit, use a lot of the 45-second clock. They bang everybody in the lane, making you shoot outside. And as we alluded to, one of the areas of concern for John Thompson is they have to shoot well and make the free throws. And BC gets deeper into the 3-second lane if you don't make them. And they are a good, even though not tall, a good team rebounding club.
Now, should it be Syracuse, Georgetown? Syracuse beat them at the Carrier Dome, but Georgetown blew them away last Sunday.
Well, Syracuse has to play an A game. You know, they're not as deep as BC, for example, but very talented. Of course, they have a good shooting night. They can put a lot of clubs away.
Boston College Eagles have just come on the floor. Here come the Syracuse Orangemen. Mike Gorman and Ronnie Perry getting ready to bring it out one. Syracuse and Boston College should be a good one. Our final score of game one of the quarterfinal. Georgetown 93, Connecticut 62. As Patrick Ewing sends it home. Now stay with us for our between games show with Mike Gorman right after this message. We'll be back to Madison Square Garden.